afternoon, and welcome to Commencement, a celebration of your achievements from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I am Dr. Tammy Vedovich, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of everyone, welcome to today's ceremony. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem, led today by Keaton Payne.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Today, you become part of a special family, that being the UW-Platteville alumni. This is the 207th commencement ceremony at UW-Platteville, where more than 57,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. Congratulations to all of our candidates that are here today. Throughout today, we saluted graduates of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, College of Liberal Arts and Education, and College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. In all, we have 24 associate degree candidates, 503 undergraduate candidates, and 79 graduate candidates in our 3 ceremonies. As for today's ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, our principal speaker, and from our chancellor. We will then recognize some special people and finally, present the candidates for graduation. Each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent the graduating seniors. This year's speaker is Hunter Lund. Hunter is an active student on the UW-Platteville campus, serving in several engineering organizations, and as a civil engineering major with a structural and geotechnical emphasis, Hunter served as president of the American Society of Civil Engineers. UW-Platteville chapter, and as the K-12 Outreach Committee Chair, where he coordinated and led outreach presentations to schools in Platteville and surrounding communities. Hunter participated in the American Institute of Steel Construction Steel Bridge team, and as the 2020-21 co-captain, the team advanced to nationals after winning the Midwest Regional Competition. Following graduation, Hunter will be working at SEH Incorporated in St. Cloud, Minnesota as an engineer. He previously interned at SEH Incorporated, where he assisted on both the design and inspection of road improvement projects. This fall, Hunter worked as a UW-Platteville undergraduate research assistant. Hunter is from Annandale, Minnesota. Please welcome Hunter Lund.
All right. Excuse me. Well, good afternoon, fellow students, families, distinguished guests, faculty, and staff. It's so great to be with you all this afternoon. I feel truly honored to be standing here as the student speaker for this EMS commencement ceremony. Now, for an engineer, it's a little bit frightening seeing so many faces looking at me right now, but it's also so incredible to have this many in-person faces here to celebrate this moment. As you've probably heard, for Platteville, this is the first in-person EMS commencement in nearly 2 years, and we now have the unique opportunity to celebrate our ability to not only have overcome the challenges of everyday college life, but to have done so during a global pandemic. The challenges of the past 2 years are something that we never could have predicted when we set out with the goal of graduating college. Students, if you're anything like me, you probably saw your time here going just a little bit different. But regardless of these new obstacles that were thrown in our way, can you believe we've finally made it to today? After our years of hard work, we have reached this milestone moment in our lives. While not necessarily true to dictionary definition, I like to think of each milestone in life as something that's buried underground. It's a treasure waiting for us, and each morning we must wake up, grab our shovel, and get to work digging. Now, the dig to reach each milestone could be filled with every material imaginable. As a civil engineering major with a geotechnical emphasis, I would love to talk more about soil properties and how those various properties could perhaps impact digging, but unfortunately for me, and perhaps lucky for the rest of you, I only have a few minutes, so my fun geotech lesson condenses down to this. We all chase different milestones, and we all face different challenges while digging to reach those milestones. Students, for the past year and a half, we have faced some pretty unique challenges, but we have proven our ability to continue digging and to get ourselves to this milestone moment of graduation. And as we sit here today, we now have the unique opportunity to momentarily just catch our breath and take a look around. We can reflect and remember all of that hard work and dedication that was required to move each scoop of the shovel. We can look around us and see all of that material that we have spent years tossing over our shoulders as we dug. We can see each struggle and each highlight from the journey. And if we take a closer look into this material that we have tossed aside, I believe we will also be able to see little flakes of gold scattered throughout. Flakes of gold that we hadn't noticed prior to today because we were so focused on this milestone. Little moments in life whose value was not fully seen until this point. As I recall my time here at UW-Platteville, I see so many of these flakes of gold. For me, it was time spent sitting in Bridgeway, enjoying a 6-course meal and then getting to top it off with 2 rounds of ice cream. It was afternoon sitting in AUTS, trying to get work done but getting distracted by conversations with great friends. It was student organization events, homecoming activities, sporting events. It was evenings on 2nd Street, meeting new people and showing the world just how terrible I am at trivia. It was these moments and so many other similar flakes of gold that I'm now just left looking back upon, only now being able to appreciate their true value. Through my experience here at UW-Platteville and through others in my life, I have found it all too easy to lose focus of what really matters while in pursuit of where we want to be. So as we reflect on our time here at Platteville, it's important to remember and recognize all of those moments and people that have meant so much to us on this journey. The professors who have worked tirelessly to modify their courses to fit an ever-changing world. The friends and family who have supported us each step of the way. Now, like many of you, I'm fortunate to have many of these people, such as my wife and the rest of my family, here in attendance today, and I'm just so thankful for the continued support from each one of them. And I would encourage every graduate that's here today to take the time to thank those people that have played an important role in your journey to this point. It's so easy to get caught up chasing whatever that next milestone is that we can forget to value all of the blessings that surround us each day. Now, I do want to note none of this disregards the importance of the milestone. Setting a goal and having a milestone in place is of utmost importance because that's what gets us up in the morning and that's what makes us start digging. So as we leave this place, it's still important to set goals and to set big goals where we are well equipped to break through any material that's in our way. As pioneers, we have a pickaxe at our disposal that allows us to break through even the toughest of bedrock standing between us and that goal. We don't have to sit there digging with our paws like a badger or like a gopher. I'm glad someone got that. We're pioneers. But as true pioneers, we can't afford to keep tossing aside the flakes of gold that are in each scoop of the shovel. So, fellow pioneers, it has been an absolute joy to work alongside all of you in pursuit of this goal. I have been blessed greatly by my time here in Platteville, and I'm forever thankful for this campus, this faculty and staff, and for you students. It was on this campus that I secured my first internship, eventually leading to my full-time job. It was on this campus that I made so many new lifelong friends. It was even on this campus that I got engaged to my now wife, standing on top of the world's largest M. Platteville will always be much more than a memory to me, and I hope that holds true for you as well. But the time has now come for us to take everything that we have learned from this place and use it to turn, set that next milestone, and begin enjoying the journey to reach that milestone. So let us now leave from this place with a pickaxe in hand, and let's go find some flakes of gold, pioneers. Thank you.
Today's principal speaker is Jennifer L. Black. Jennifer has been working in the engineering field for nearly 30 years. She is a principal, program manager, commercial HVAC, and trained technologies in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In her position, Jennifer provides strategic support to the leadership team. She directs large, cross-functional teams of engineering, design, integrated supply chain, and aftermarket parts, and service to facilitate efforts to design new products that meet customer requirements and deliver them to the market in an agreed-upon timeframe, currently focusing on large commercial rooftops. She's also a senior project manager mentor for younger project managers and women in engineering. Jennifer has been involved in the UW-Platteville Women in STEM program since 2016. She's held leadership positions including being an advisory board member from 2016 to 2020 and the advisory board chair from 2020 to 2021. Jennifer is the regional professional development chair for the Wisconsin Society of Women Engineers and the co-chair of the Trained Technologies La Crosse Women's Employee Network. Jennifer earned her bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Jennifer L. Black.
Good afternoon, graduates, distinguished faculty, friends, and family. When I was asked to give this speech, I was really excited as I have loved all the relationships that I have built on this campus with your students, your faculty, and your staff. I have been impressed by the quality of students, your faculty, and the programs that are supported on this campus and have been available to all of you. And because of that, I had to accept this opportunity to speak to all of you. And then reality sunk in when someone asked me what I was going to speak about. And I realized I needed to speak about something that was entertaining and leave you with a lasting message. To say that I'm a bit nervous is an understatement. I've had the opportunity to speak in front of executives, board members, and CEOs, but this is a much bigger deal. You are all a big deal. I was lamenting this fact when I got an email from one of my best friends in college, a mechanical engineer like me, who now owns a large design-build contracting firm in Baltimore, Maryland. I had to share with him this great news and asked him if he had ever given a commencement speech because I knew he'd have some words of wisdom for me. I told him I was nervous, and I said I had no idea what my message was going to be. He replied with one sentence, and he said, "You have a very distinguished career in a male-dominated industry. Tell them how to be like you." Rich is right. I do have a career that I'm very proud of. And as I started to frame up my speech, there were three words that came out over and over again: persistence, positivity, and passion. My 3 Ps. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So a little bit of background on me. I graduated from Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania in May of 1991 with a mechanical engineering degree. I grew up in Connecticut and found myself 8 hours away in Erie with a swimming and academic scholarship. This was the first time that I had ever been away from home for an extended period of time. It was a plane ride away, an 8-hour drive. Swimming season started in September and ended in March, so almost the full academic calendar. For anyone that has played a sport in college, you can understand the time commitment that goes along with this, on top of being enrolled in a STEM major. You had to want to succeed, and you had to have some grit. I have to say that when I started, I didn't have a lot of grit. I came from an upper middle class family, was a little spoiled, and things came really easy to me. This was a whole new experience for me and one I thought I was ready for, but 6 weeks into school, I determined that this really wasn't for me. We are now in the middle of October 1987. I decided it was time I go home and get out of this mess that I call my life. I called home from my dorm room with the intent on having my parents come and get me. I was homesick, I was tired, and I wasn't thrilled with my dorm, and I was taking some of the hardest classes I had ever taken. I wanted to move back to Connecticut, live at home, and go to school. I wanted to be taken care of, and I really didn't want to live on my own anymore. Doing laundry, eating cafeteria food, and making new friends was highly overrated. My mom answered the phone as she always did, and I knew that she wasn't the one I was going to have to convince to come and get me, so I asked her to put my dad on the phone. I started out by explaining to my dad what a terrible place Gannon was, how swimming was really putting a dent in my studies, and how difficult making new friends was. He listened like he always did. He didn't interrupt, and at the end of my explanation on why he should come and get me, he said no. Now, I was already packed up and ready to go home, and I couldn't believe that he actually told me no. At this point, I realized I must not have conveyed the message of how miserable I was, so I decided that I better add some tears, a few sobs, and review again all the reasons why he needed to come and get me. He once again listened, didn't interrupt, and told me once again that he wasn't coming. I wasn't going to live at home. I was going to put my head down and muscle through it. I had to say at that moment he was definitely not my favorite person in the world. I tried to convince him in about 100 different ways what a bad idea leaving me in Erie, Pennsylvania was. He wouldn't budge. Looking back, it was one of the best things that he ever did. His exact words to me, "Jennifer, you need to figure out how to live away from home and how to be on your own. If you can do this, you can do anything. I'm not doing this to hurt you, but to help you." How many of times have you heard that? The dreaded, "I'm not doing this to hurt you, but to help you." I knew that it was a lost cause. I needed to figure this out. And you want to know what? I did. It helped that I always knew I wanted to be an engineer, and at that moment, I realized that college was going to be what I made it. From that point forward, I decided that if I was going to be stuck in Erie, Pennsylvania, that I was going to make the best of it, and I was going to make my college career a memorable and positive experience. Once I decided to embrace my environment and the lake effect snow, I literally learned what being stuck in Erie was all about. I'm confident that one of the reasons why I approach every job, every challenge positively is because I discovered that although something might not be perfect and it might not be exactly what you expect, you have the ability to determine how you are going to behave in that moment. Persistence and positivity helped me to be successful in college and allowed me to have a very good and memorable experience. I would ask that all of you, as you go out into your prospective careers or continue on in your education, to be positive and use that positivity to help you be successful. As I look around at all of you, I see that the men to women ratio has significantly improved over the years. When I was in high school, I loved math and science, and I was a straight A student. It was highly recommended that I go into the medical field, but the only problem with that is that blood and me really didn't get along, and the thought of going to college for more than 4 years was not all that appealing to me. When I told my teachers and counselors that I wanted to go into engineering, they asked me why, and in some instances, they actually shared with me that engineering was really a man's career. I probably wouldn't have known much about engineering if I hadn't had such a great role model in my dad. He was a mechanical engineer, and he encouraged me to think about getting a degree in engineering because he believed it would be a good career for a woman. He had huge confidence that I could do anything that I set my mind to, and he knew I was good in math and science, and even better, he knew that I liked math and science. He also knew that if he wasn't around, I was going to be the one that fixed it in our house. And better yet, he knew that if I struggled, he would be the first person I could call. And having gone through it himself, he knew exactly the words of encouragement he needed to give me. And these words of encouragement are some of the same words that I'm using with my son, who is currently a senior in electrical engineering. When I graduated, I was one of only 4 women to walk across that stage. To put that in context, there were approximately 100 engineers that graduated from Gannon that year. Only 4 were women, 3 mechanical engineers, and 1 electrical engineer. Less than 5%, which was not uncommon in the 1990s. When I walked across that stage to get my diploma, it was probably the best feeling that I had ever experienced. I'm not sure who was more proud, me for getting that degree, or my parents who knew they would never have to support me again. My mom is in the crowd with all of you today, and I can see her nodding with that statement. All of my determination, persistence, and hard work had paid off. Only 4 other events had compared: marrying my husband and the birth of my 3 children. Now that I think about it, I need to add a 5th, which would be up on the stage giving this speech and reliving the feelings of walking across that stage by watching all of you. I'm excited to be able to share that feeling with all of you. Your persistence has paid off. Your persistence is something to be proud of. Getting this diploma is hopefully the best experience that you have had to date. Moving on to my work career, if I was to say that the last 30 years have been easy, that would be a lie. I will tell you today that your career will not be easy, but it is yours to own. I'm sure that many of your parents would tell you the same thing. My career has not come easy to me. I have had many frustrating moments, and I have shed a lot of tears. I walked off that graduation stage in May of 1991 with a plan that I was going to execute, and I knew exactly where I wanted to be in 30 years. Many of you will walk off this stage with a plan, and you will start to work that plan, but don't be surprised if you end up taking a detour. There may be a time where you decide to get off the highway altogether and take the scenic route, and you may even experience an engine failure. I can tell you that I have experienced all these things, and the place I thought I would be 30 years ago is not where I am now. But that's not a bad thing. I'm very happy with everything I've accomplished, and I chose this path. I have added value in every single position I have ever held. I will say that again. I have added value in every single position I have ever held, and I know that there's so much more that I can do. Be okay with changing direction, and never be afraid of failing, as failing is not a permanent experience. It is the ability to change and grow that makes you win. Did you know that Jeff Bezos started his career in computer science and took on top roles at various financial firms before transitioning to the world of e-commerce and launching Amazon at 31? Julia Child worked in advertising, media, and secret intelligence before writing her first cookbook at age 50. And Martha Stewart was a model and a Wall Street stockbroker before she turned her love of gourmet cooking into something more. I would guess that Jeff Bezos, Julia Child, and Martha Stewart all found their passion. I talked about persistence in getting an engineering degree, positively in trying to make the best of every situation, and now I'm going to talk about passion. Passion has really led me to where I am today. Teddy Roosevelt once said that far and away the best price that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Along with that, his wife Eleanor Roosevelt said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I spent many years trying to figure out not only what work I wanted to do that was worth doing, but also how that translated into my dream. What I would call this is really passion, and this is how I'm going to end my speech. As I was thinking about how I would explain my passion, I recalled 2 of my favorite t-shirts. The first t-shirt was a t-shirt that I got in college, and it read, "God created earth, engineers created luxury." And the second is a t-shirt that I received when I started my role as a project manager, and it read, "Being a project manager is easy. It's like riding a bike, except the bike is on fire, you're on fire, everything is on fire, and you're in hell." So you are asking me how those 2 very different sayings are about passion for me. I went into engineering because I believed that I could help make America a better place, and if not America, the comforts that are available to me even better. I'm guessing that all of you chose your majors because of the same thing. You wanted to make a difference. As a math teacher, you can make a difference in a child's life. As a chemist, you might have input into a major drug breakthrough that helps treat cancer. As a computer science major, you might come up with a program that is significant in the next big tech breakthrough. So what do you think the first major purchase you might make when you graduate will be? When I graduated, it was a car. Think about what you want that car to have. Will it be a Tesla because you want to own an electric vehicle? Will it be a luxury SUV? Will it have heated seats, park assist, or Do you just need it to be in a certain price range and you are hoping that you get some of the comforts that you can actually afford? That was where I was when I graduated. I needed a car that actually had a window that would roll down, air conditioning that would work, and because I was living in Wisconsin, heat. Heat is very important in Wisconsin. You know what? Someone in a STEM career made these luxuries or options possible. You know what else? Someone in project management role probably led one of those projects that led to that development of that SUV, Tesla, Range Rover, or any other car that you might consider purchasing. Project management showed me what I was truly good at. It took everything I've learned over the course of my 30 years and threw it into one job. I learned that every product needs to have a targeted market. I learned that it must be priced right if people are going to buy it. I learned that if people are going to buy your product, you need to make them feel special, even if it is the economical version. I also learned that how you treat people determines the amount of work that they are willing to do and if they will go out of their way to help you. I also learned that you need to set deadlines, have a budget, and have a plan, and that deviating from your scope can add a whole lot of everything to that plan: cost, quality, time. And lastly, we are all accountable for our actions. The person that you are accountable to might be different, but we are all accountable just the same. And one of my biggest passions is that I want to help people be successful. Just this last month, I had one of the members of my team say to me, "Jennifer, I admire the job you are doing. You are calm in the storm. Our projects can be on fire, and you always know how to address the team and keep them from going over the edge. It takes a special personality to do that." And that brought me full circle. Over the course of the last 30 years, I've had the opportunity to learn and do different things, but I found my passion in leading large projects because I can see everything I've learned in the last 25 years at play in the development of these new products. And I know that these new products are making a difference in the world. They are making life better for someone, keeping someone cool, using less energy, contributing to a cleaner environment. I'm hoping that as you're listening to me, you can hear the passion in my voice, see my excitement for what I currently do. When I think about passion, I think about that little kid in the candy store. You can see the excitement in their eyes, you can see the smile on their face. Be that little kid. You have a whole world that is open to you. Embrace it, think positive, be persistent, and be passionate. Think of the 3 Ps: persistence, positivity, and passion. By doing what you love, you will make a difference in this world. You will make life around you better, and you will add value to this world. Thank you, and congratulations on your graduation. Continue to make all of us proud.
I now ask Dr. Holly Attenborough, Associate Professor of Mathematics, to stand. Holly was selected as one of 4 recipients across the UW system for the 2021 Alliant Energy Underkoffler Excellence in Teaching Award. The award, funded by an endowment from the Alliant Energy Foundation Incorporated, recognizes extraordinary undergraduate teachers at UW system universities within Alliant Energy's service area. Holly joined UW-Platteville in 2013. She teaches a variety of courses ranging from general education math classes and the calculus sequence to upper-level math major courses. Holly has a strong focus on scholarship of teaching and learning research and has developed materials and activities in her classroom to improve student engagement and active learning. She also serves as advisor for the Mathematics Club since 2014. Holly's previous recognitions include 2020-2021 Mathematical Association of America Wisconsin Section Distinguished Teaching Award, the UW-Platteville 2018 Early Career Faculty Award for Teaching Excellence, and selection as a 2017-18 UW System Wisconsin Teaching Fellow. Please join me in congratulating the 2021 Alliant Energy Underkoffler Award winner, Dr. Holly Attenborough. I now ask that Tristan Toll, Vice President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the Alumni Lifetime Memberships.
Thank you, Dr. Ivetovich. By your graduation here today, you are now part of a special group, UW-Platteville alumni. And you are not alone. I now ask all UW-Platteville alumni to stand and be recognized. I, along with the alumni here today, would officially like to welcome you, the class of 2021, as UW-Platteville alumni. On behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, we are happy to present you with a graduation gift of a one-year free alumni membership. Welcome to Pioneer Nation. The UW-Platteville Alumni Association also annually recognizes outstanding graduates with an honorary Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them lifetime membership in the Alumni Association. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities and leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, and the probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. I ask the following graduate to stand and be recognized as the College of EMS's Alumni Association Lifetime Membership recipient, Melinda Vang. Congratulations, Melinda. Thank you.
Thank you, Tristan. Dennis J. Shields has been the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Chancellor since 2010, and during that time, he led the university to opportunities for students, programs, and facilities, including the Babel Hall renovation and Sesquicentennial Hall. Unfortunately, Chancellor Shields is recovering from surgery and is not able to attend today's ceremony in person. He is disappointed he cannot celebrate your accomplishments in person, as commencement is truly one of his favorite events at UW-Platteville. However, he did send his video message to the class of 2021. Please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Hello, I'm Chancellor Dennis J. Shields, and welcome to the Fall 2021 Commencement Ceremony. I would have preferred to give this speech to you in person. I'm thankful that we enjoy access to technologies that still allow me to speak to you during today's ceremony. Students, today is not only a celebration of your having achieved a milestone in your professional and academic lives, it is also a celebration of each and every person who helped you get here. Please remember to thank those who have helped support you during your academic journey. While one chapter of your lives is coming to a close, a new chapter begins. I encourage you to view this experience as part of the foundation upon which your future learning will be built. Being a lifelong learner is a skill that will continue to be relevant in your professional and personal lives. I recently listened to presentations of candidates for a leadership position of a large and complex organization. For me, the most impressive candidates evidenced attentiveness to continuous learning. Parents, faculty, staff, and friends of the graduates, thank you for all that you have done to support these students in this endeavor. Thank you for answering the late-night phone calls, the frantic emails, and responding to the stresses that are associated with studying and earning an undergraduate degree. It is one of the most valuable experiences that you can help support students in achieving. Pursuing an education is not only valuable as a means of gaining future employment, but it is also an important aspect of living a meaningful life. At least I think so. It allows us, in the best of ways, to see the limits of our own experiences, to view our opinions as opinions and not the only available capital T truth. A true education should enable one to first listen without judgment. It should enable us to entertain an idea without accepting it. This simple awareness is a tool that will help you in navigating the trenches of day-to-day life. In David Foster Wallace's famous commencement speech entitled, "This is Water," he references this same basic awareness as being something that's not only valuable, not only meaningful in our lives, but perhaps even holy. It is the spiritual connection between all things. When I reflect on my own experience, I think back to law school in 1982 at the University of Iowa. My opinions about the world didn't change much while I was in law school. What changed was my ability to see them as opinions. I also learned that finding common ground with those who disagree with my opinion is possible. The ability to step outside oneself and view an issue or topic from someone else's perspective is incredibly useful and practical in our lives. It is what some refer to as being capable of empathy. Sometimes the best way to earn empathy is to share stories. I have a couple I'd like to share with you today. A current student I asked to come see me because he'd received a significant scholarship from the university system, and I wanted to get to know him. And when he came into my office and I asked him how he was doing, he said, "Well, I was a little stressed because I had a really important test yesterday, and I got the results, and it went much better than I thought." I said, So he's focused on achieving academically. Then as I came to know him, I wanted to know where he's from, what his family was like, and it turns out he's the son of first-generation immigrants. He's the first in his family to go to college. Both his parents have honorable blue-collar jobs. He has 2 younger brothers. And when I asked him about his ambitions, he said, "Well, I want to get my engineering degree and go to work for a company near my family." And I said, "Well, you're going to be working in a factory, in a manufacturing setting." He said, "Yes." I said, "Had you ever thought that you might be the one that could be in charge of that factory? Or even the person who owns that factory?" He looked at me and he was stunned. I then went on to tell him how incredibly proud I was of him, that in spite of all the challenges he and his family had faced, he was achieving at a high level at this university, and I thought it was really an amazing achievement. He almost burst into tears because I think he'd never had a conversation with someone who he thought was in a significant position tell him how proud they were of what he was achieving. So let me pivot to the other story. I recently had occasion to meet an alum who is towards the end of his career. And he, like the current student, came from a pretty modest background. His family had learned that the University of Wisconsin-Platteville had an engineering program, and they sent him for a visit when he was a sophomore in college from Superior on a bus. He arrived in town, grabbed a hold of his suitcase, and started walking towards the M because that was the one landmark he knew. He'd walked quite a distance before he discovered that he was going in the wrong direction. He turned around, retraced several miles of walking back to campus, spent the weekend here, saw that it was an amazing place that could support his ambitions, and ultimately enrolled here, got his degree here, and went on to be extraordinarily successful. Now, those 2 stories are significant in helping me stay connected to what this university is all about. I know that this graduating group of students, there are countless stories like these 2 that you have all experienced in various ways. These stories help me empathize with another person's journey, one whose career is just beginning and shows great promise, another whose journey has led to remarkable success and has led him to be giving back in incredible ways. Graduating on the heels of the pandemic has in some ways prepared you to deal with the challenges that lie ahead. Remember to consider what lessons you have learned from these experiences and how you might apply them to your lives. Remember that your response to a given set of circumstances is something that you can control, even when the situation itself might be something over which you have very little control. What's most important is not avoiding failure, but to get back up, dust yourself off, and carry on despite those failures. Today, what we are celebrating is not a failure, but a great and significant accomplishment. Congratulations to the graduating class of the fall of 2021. Do not limit your ambitions, dream big, set high goals, and remember that when you work together, anything is possible. Each and every one of you are the reason why I say today and every day is a great day to be a pioneer.
You may wonder what the different colored stoles and cords are around many of our graduates. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flags of their home countries. UW-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flags of the countries where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have also bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing additional extracurricular and high-impact learning practices. I call special attention to those wearing gold honor cords. These gold cords are worn by students who have received academic honors. Students with honors are also designated with asterisks in the commencement program. We are going to recognize our honor students now. Each year, the colleges recognize our valedictorians, students with a high grade point average as well as outstanding accomplishments. For the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, we recognize the 2021 valedictorian, Cody Daniels. Congratulations. Cody was not able to be with us here today. Will the individuals who are graduating magna cum laude please rise? There we go. There you go. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages above a 3.5. Congratulations to our magna cum laude graduates. Thank you. Now will the students earning the highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please stand? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and 4.0. Please join me again in congratulating the summa cum laude graduates. Thank you. Please be seated. Each faculty member has a different style of gown and accessories depending upon his or her field and level of education. For a PhD, the hood is large, colorful, and has a silk patch and a velvet patch. The silk patch is the colors of the institution that gave the degree, and the velvet tells you what kind of degree that it is. The doctoral gown has a black velvet strip that extends down the front, as well as 3 black velvet stripes across the sleeves. For the master's degree, the hood is the same length as the doctor's hood, but does not fully expose the lining, and the velvet edge is not as wide. Faculty and staff wear the color of the institution that granted the highest degree they've been awarded. Would you please join me in recognizing our faculty? And now, all of the individuals for candidates for bachelor's degrees, please stand. As Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Bachelor of Science, and upon completion of the prescribed curricula, are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. With the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned together with all the rights and privileges attended thereto. And now, undergraduates, please take your tassel and move it from right to left on your mortarboard, as you are now a UW-Platteville graduate. Congratulations. Please be seated. We will begin awarding the individual degrees. We know that this is an exciting time, but I ask that everyone show respect for the graduates and for those seated near you. All here are very anxious to hear the name of their own graduate, so please refrain from excessive celebrations or using artificial noisemakers. Dr. Jessica Fick, Assistant Dean for Special Projects in the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, will read the names of the candidates. I ask Dr. Philip Parker, Acting Dean of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, to come forward.
Graduates, I salute you for your persistence and your grit. Thank you for making it through to this day. Thank you for choosing UW-Platteville. Provost Savetovich, as Acting Dean of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
Hunter Curtis Lund. Scott G. Asen. Alex J. Acola. Evan J. Adair. Wilson C. Agamite. Alex Michael Ulrich. John P. Engelhart. Brandon Axelson. Anthony Andrew Barnier. Noah C. Belkey. Nicholas G. Bertino. Caleb R. Beeson. Juliet L. Betke. Rachel Marie Bixler. Dylan Lee Bodmer. Keaton D. Brower. Abby Lynn Breenan. Logan M. Boobles. Brett R. Bourbon. Bradley J. Burgermeister. Benjamin J. Klaas. Casey L. Clark. Caitlin R. Clemon. Jacob Collins. Sophia Connell. Mitchell M. Comer. Ryan Joseph Copleen. Anna Daly. Andrew James Darland. Benjamin E. Drensky. Lexi D. Fitzsimmons. Benjamin Hagan Fisher. Jake D. Flynn. Aiden Michael Gangler. Jared Lawrence Gerner. Jonas Gillis. Ryan T. Glennon. Emerson Richard Greeno. Patrick Ryan Griffin. Gabriel B. Golata. Kaylin August Gundrum. Noah Michael Habowitz. Crystal May Hayter. Brooke Hannon. Carly P. Hansen. Bo A. Harrier. Jason Darrell Heath. Riley Philip Hyder. Samuel James Heineke. Tristan J. Heller. Jacob M. Henrich. Rich. Serena L. Hitzelberger. Jason James Hoffman. Malcolm W. Holloman II. Justine Cynthia Hurst. Cordell S. Harris. Colton R. Jekyll. Caitlin M. Johnson. Austin J. Jones. Riley Jordan Josephs. Caleb R. Kapsner. Melissa M. Karch. Mariah K. Kennedy. Logan James Kettlehut. Matthew R. Killian. Ryan Arthur Kinney. Alex Coleman. Sean Allen Comroe. Seth Brian Korb. Jacob William Korducki. Logan M. Kozak. William H. Krause. Audrey K. Kryling. Jared M. Lee. Joshua C. Lenzendorf. Peter S. Leanhart. Ian R. Lippert. Zexon Yeo. Jordan Allen Jones Loker. Ethan Delos Loney. Andrew J. Lushow. Owen I. Moss. Kyle Mack. Jacob T. Malat. Tess S. Mangan. Curtis A. Marshall. Eric M. McKee. Aiden J. McManus. Bradley Ray Miners. Samuel Leland Merkel. Robert Scott Metzinger. Brett F. McCulloch. Jack G. Mix. Christopher A. Mudloff. Haley E. Knack. Tyler B. Nemeth. Mitchell A. Nyberg. Samuel Ola Sirigi. Patrick R. O'Leary. Gunnar Matthew Olson. Daniel Jeffrey Opum. Dylan J. Uphold. Joseph Park. Reed M. Personin. Nikolai Vladimir Parlichek. Colton Thomas Michael Pepper. Dylan J. Peplinski. Tyler J. Peshko. Eric Douglas Peterson. Edgar Jameson Flug. Ryan J. Piechko. Jacob D. Pitzer. James Richard Pomeroy. Daniel P. Reddington. Brendan W. Rifstick. Parker Reinhard. Colin Rayner. Jackson Scott Resch. Ian J. Richardson. Emily Richter. Matthew S. Risser. Charles J. Roltgen. Eric W. Rowe. Anthony J. Rozeski. Connor A. Rupke. Eric P. Russell. Aaron M. Sager. Zachary D. Sargent. Brady J. Schindler. Daniel G. Schneider. Brett C. Schreiber. Jacob D. Schulfer. Meldia Joe Sharp. Stephen A. Sheepek. David P. Schulte. Drew B. Sigmund. Eric Michael Simley. Brady C. Snyder. Nathan J. Stelkin. Matthew Scott Swartzel. Nikel C. Sinovi. Gregory A. Tarman. Nathan R. Taylor. Alice G. Tao. Connor J. Trump. Thomas Joseph Turchi. Nathan Eulers. Ryan R. Julius. Joshua S. Vanderheiden. Melinda Vang. Benjamin Howard Benos. Jacob Charles Varble. Joseph Robert Vesley. Kyler Voth. Joshua Webb. Joseph Alexander Watching Barreto. Tyler J. Weedy. Weston A. Weiss. Jacob J. Wilds. Brandon Lewis Williams. Nathaniel James Winter. Gavin M. Whipperfirth. Eric J. Wiseman. Trisha M. Yarwood. Nathan K. Yenser. Nathaniel Zabel. Michael L. Zielinski Jr. Lucas S. Ziegler.
And the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, congratulations.
Okay. Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. Thank you to the following: the Commencement Committee led by Michael Breitner, Commencement Marshal, Dr. Molly Gribb, retired Dean of the College of EMS. Dr. Jessica Fick, who read the names. The Symphony Wind Ensemble for the music. Teaching and Technology Services, and the Division of University Relations. For all of those just mentioned who helped with the production of today's ceremony, please rise and be recognized. Sitting in front of the stage is a group who has taught and advised and so much more for this graduating class. Would the UW-Platteville faculty and staff stand and be honored today? Thank you. Please be seated. None of this would have been possible without this last group who has helped our graduates throughout their collegiate careers and indeed their entire lives. Would the families and friends of the December 2021 graduates please stand and be recognized? Now, if you would please turn to page 44 of your commencement program for the Alma Mater, led again by Keaton Payne, and please stand for the singing of the Alma Mater. Please be seated. The commencement ceremonies have been recorded and are available for on-demand viewing on the commencement website. Please remain seated until the faculty have left the gymnasium, and once the faculty have reached the lobby, graduates are dismissed and can join their families and friends. The flags, representing all the countries from which our students hail, are displayed out in the main lobby for pictures, as are the college banners. This concludes our ceremony for today. Once again, congratulations to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of December 2021. Please start the reception.